Hey guys, welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I'm Nerdarchist Ryan, and today I'm joined by
Nerdarchist Dave.
Nerdarchist Ted.
And today we have the GM 911 with the case of the Demon Dog.
If you have a GM 911 and you'd like us to be able to help you out, you can send that over via email to nerdarchy@gmail.com, or you can go to our forums and go to the GM 911 section.
Just where we got this one from.
Indeed.
So, so the idea is he's got a player that's an artificer. He has a clockwork dog, and basically the player wanted to have it powered by a demon.
Demon cell batteries.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's there's this thing where the demon's tied to the background of that player character, and another one. Every full moon, he has to go back and redo the seals to make sure this demon doesn't escape or emerge from it. And so it's contained, and he has a demon dog to follow him around.
Right. So and he's had the demon kind of enter the player's dreams,
make snarky comments.
Yeah, but he wants to know what more can he do with this.
What's the next level sort of stuff? Yeah. I mean, maybe there could be every once in a while sort of contested roles where the demon dog, when it's not under control, it could steal some treasure or something like that and go hide it. Basically minor sabotages. Nothing truly harmful, but maybe a day or two's rations go missing. Sort of malicious golem sort of things, from Lord of the Rings.
Or it actually just acts out like a dog would, but maybe worse, amplified,
right.
Yeah. Demonic-fied.
Yeah.
And then the other thing too is what if it also tried the other route instead of the dream talk and the snarkiness, it tried tempting them with being promises.
Yeah, being really helpful. Yeah. But it is a demon rather than a devil, so demons I would think are a little more short-sighted. But you could still try to do the seduction sort of route.
So if it is a demon, you are going to look at the violence aspect of it. You're going to look at the short term planning. So it could, as you guys were talking about, offer them, power or whatever you might be so inclined to offer them, even if you can't provide it, just to let him out. They're when it gets involved in combat, I don't know if it's actually goes with any kind of companion rules and actually engage in the actual battles, but if it does, perhaps that's when it might start showing some interesting signs, maybe the bite of the claws do some kind of fire damage, maybe its eyes go red, and it acts on its own accord during battle every so often. And these are the kind of times where if the players aren't noticing or aren't doing something about it, it then gets a leg up on this world, and you start saying, okay, well, now it has the ability to influence this way, or it has the ability to do this kind of thing.
Yeah, I would say, anytime that it's around or exposed to things or allowed to do things that a demon would revel in, like violence and bloodshed sort of thing, that maybe it gets to have slightly more influence and hold within the world. Also, too, you could do a thing where if they encounter other demonic creatures, maybe it kind of draws other demonic creatures to it somehow as well, too, like a magnet.
It was like a beacon.
So I was thinking about the whole combat angle. What if it yells advice to your opponents? And it does things.
Does the help
that.
action for them basically?
Wow.
Yeah. Maybe like that, or point out, hey, that's the wizard over there. You're definitely going to want to hit him before he fireballs you. Things like that, or perhaps it's a nuisance when you go into town and it's it offends the innkeeper or makes lewd comments to becomes Triumph the comic dog, basically towards
the populace or everyone. I had another idea that I just lost. All right.
So I would also look into whoever would be the most tempted of the party. The longer the dog is with the party, the more it's going to pick up on who might be more susceptible to its influence, and try to corrupt that player, try to get them to assist in its release.
What if the dog offered up a warlock pact to either someone outside of the group or inside the group, preferably outside of the group,
like a townsfolk type of thing?
Yeah. So that you end up with this, basically with this this villain that you're going to have to contend with. But the dog has him kind of doing it on the slide because he doesn't want to lose his one connection, and is slowly but surely trying to build a cult.
Yeah.
And it could be things too, like the dog gets kidnapped, for this cult to follow and worship. You could definitely do things like that. You could have other spellcasters be interested in it because it's a source of power. They want to learn how to infuse.
You could have
demons.
church things like on the other side, like wanting to see it destroyed. Because it's like an abomination.
It's got a demon on this side of the world. The demons need to be in their own place.
Yeah. The paladin shows up, is like, "Hey, buddy, I need to talk to you about your dog." One, the thing doesn't have his dog license.
No papers.
The shots aren't up to date. And by the way, it's actually a freaking demon.
Yeah, this is a problem. This is a problem, dude. Well, and also with like the paladin can sense demonic presences, so that totally makes sense with their set of powers. Like maybe the one time the paladin activates.
That's a fiend.
Yeah, it's like that's not a dog. It's a fiend, buddy.
That's not Fido. That's Fiendo. What's going on here?
Yeah. Oh, the other thing I was thinking about, just kind of combat related, is the dog could be more violent than they would want it to be. Say that they needed someone alive for information, or at least it's implied that they need that person alive. The dog just goes snaps its neck. Like, so doing things that are like just horrendously counterpoint to what the party needs in that regard.
Or having it act out too in ways that are kind of like it's doing what you say, but like for instance, if you use it in combat, it is actually much more brutal and violent than it needs to be. It's not enough for it to actually defeat its foe, but it has to rip it apart and basically act like a dog with a bone, or a chew toy. Kind of disturbing stuff like that.
It goes mechanically rabid a little bit.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
You could always give it the...
you could give it a rage ability.
I was going to say, you could give it the barbarian ability where it can take advantage to have disadvantage put on it.
Well, no. I mean, you could give it a bump to strength and con, like when it's fighting, to like, just skin it on and like, it goes berserk and,
Yeah, so there's definitely a ton of fun things you can do with this mechanically as well as... story-wise, and you could have which could grow as the game grows. I would go with something subtle to begin with, and just tweak it and ratchet it up every few sessions, until eventually you can actually have adventures centered around this Clockwork dog. And at what point too does it become more of a nuisance and problem?
Well, eventually
keep it around.
You basically are going to have to put it down at a certain point.
Yeah, it's the hellish old yeller.
Old Heller.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what would you guys do? Would you allow it in your game? First of all, let us know in the comments below. While you're at it, like, share, and subscribe.
You can tweet at us at NerdArchy.
You could also check us out over on Instagram.
So until next time, stay nerdy.